Hey there. So here we are, week 23. And it seems that it would be a natural progression from the first, second, and third chakra into the heart, the fourth chakra. And yet, what happened as I was working on this, obviously, is there are 49 cards in the deck. So there are 2 weeks in this journey where it's time to reflect or look back. And as a reflective week, it's interesting, I have on green and then I have yellow in the background. As a reflective week, what we need to do is very simply take some time. And by the way, I had gotta be honest, I was looking at the book and going, gosh, this is pretty good. I was like, who wrote this? So I just went, this makes sense. So one of the things you wanna look at here is the idea that week 23, there is no card. It's actually moving from the lower to the higher chakras. And that has a lot to do with the first 3 chakras. Oh, here we go. I'm going to start yawning. The first 3 chakra are red, orange, and yellow. I want you to think about this for a minute. Red, orange, yellow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the idea of when we look at, there's a couple things that come to mind here. Faith, right? When we look at the 12 steps and, of Alcoholics Anonymous, you'll look at the first 3 steps abbreviated are I can't, he can, I think I'll let him. And so if we look at that as the first step, our root is our foundation. It's our DNA. These are the beliefs we came into this life with. So sometimes we turn around and go, I can't change that. And yet what happens is we build a foundation anyway. And from that foundation comes the next thing of our emotions. And we learn in our life that emotions can either control us or we can navigate them and we can work with them to magnetize and manifest. And then of course, that's he can, meaning spirit can, meaning God can. And it is that second chakra that says, this is my emotions. Do I want to just let them run wild? Or do I want to guide them and get guidance for them so that when I get to that third chakra, which is I think I'll let him, right? Is that I think I'll let him. That is the third chakra. It's gut instinct. I think I will let him, meaning I will be guided by a power greater than me. So when we look at those first 3 chakra, it really is about navigating the water of manifestation, looking at what you're going to be creating in your life and finding some kind of basic platform for what's next for you. So when we look at the fourth chakra, which really is it's the heart, right? So it separates the 3 base chakras, which are manifesting and creating and working at a plan so that we can say, is our heart really into this? And then above the fold, if you will, above the heart chakra is the 3 chakras that fall into a more spiritual nature. Because the 3 that are above the heart, if you think of it as looking down the side of a mountain, and when you're standing on top of the mountain, you are in that 4th chakra. And when you look down, you're seeing in the fall, you see red, orange, yellow. So you're seeing the beautiful autumn colors. And who you are in that moment is all of those colors combined. It's everything that happened in that season that's you. So when we look at the idea of this 4th chakra now, as we move into it, we really need to stop and take stock. There's a certain thing in any business, right? Any business will say, well, we need to close today and take inventory. Well, maybe it is a time this week for us to take an inventory. So I'm going to share with you that this says integrating the red, orange, and yellow chakras, which is what I just really mentioned to you. Now, the message of the week is really about welcoming you into the home of your heart and into those higher chakras. So when I talked about integrating what you've learned, that's really we're really going to work with our intuitive wisdom in those chakras before we move into our heart, which is the next week. We start the 7 green fables next week, the 7-week journey there. Now, I'm going to share this with you directly because I think it matters. It's on page 102 of the toolkit, and it says Tori's tip. By now you'll have realized that the path you're taking through the chakras is a deeply personal one. This week is a chance to see how serendipity plays into your life. Remember, a coincidence is your angel's way of acting anonymously. The exercises this week will confirm for you that your intuition is powerful. And so this really is a time to step back and work with what you've learned. So I'm not going to make this an extremely long video. I think it's much more valuable for you to actually read what's here. But I am going to share with you that the Monday exercise, which of course every week is the fable itself, this week it's about looking back and forward. So we're looking back and forward. And I want you to get that idea of the flow. And that is exactly what the 4th chakra is about. It's like the heart valve that goes up and down. It ebbs and it flows. And there's never a direct, it's not always like this, and it's not always like this. So really the chakras are never balanced. They're always moving because they're wheels. So what I really want to say help you integrate is that this week is really about some of these things dawning on you and what's coming forward to you. So when we talk about that in this particular week, rather than read a fable, it's going to say green, blue, purple, and neutral. So on this page, you're going to see green, and then over here maybe, good, okay, maybe, yeah, there we go. Purple and neutral. Now I want to say one thing because I did just come out with my tarot deck, which is it is also a chakra deck. But one of the things that I did in Chakra Wisdom is you're going to notice the 6th chakra here is purple. So it's all the energy of that third eye, of that intuitive wisdom within you, universal consciousness within you, family agreements within you. So I call it the purple chakra, the 6th chakra, but it's really, in its most pure conversation, it's really indigo. But for our purposes, when we're looking at how this energy works with us, we're looking at the 7th chakra rather than as a violet, if you will. We're really looking, or purple, we're really looking at it as neutral. And I take that because spirit is neutral. And when we look at all the fables and we get to that point, we're going to look at all of the fables in the 7th chakra as being all about personal neutrality. You're really not taking a side. And when you get to those fables, you'll understand why I'm saying that. So this week, really take time to just read through this. And I want to say to you, remember, don't pressure yourself to get it done the right way. Get it done your way. So I would encourage you to read the recap and also to look at where you're going, because you're going to be looking at the green chakra, the blue, the orange, the purple. I don't know where orange came from. People kept talking about that today. So you're going to be looking at the green as kind of like that heart valve, and then the upper chakra as the ones that really talk about how we relate to the world and putting us out there. Remember that in here, you're going to look at different exercises each day. So for example, the color reflection may be about the red chakra and what it says to you. Actually, it is the color reflection. Then on Wednesday, it's going to say, pick a number from 9 to 15 and go review and look at what that message is telling you. And then of course, Thursday, making the connection is really about, once again, doing another exercise. So these ideas that will be in the yellow or 3rd chakra section, these ideas are going to help you close the book, if you will, on all of that you've learned. Let it go into the universe so that you can begin to open yourself to some of the messages that Spirit has for you. So like I promised, this is a very short video because I really want you to take that extra 10 or 15 minutes and really just read it and be gentle with yourself. And these are more about fun, intuitive exercises, and you'll have a little, oh, look how intuitive I've become. I really encourage you to look at that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week in the first week of green. And get ready, because we're going to be talking about matters of the heart and things that matter to you in a very personal way, whether or not you are or have worked with it to this point. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.